You know, a great coach once told me there's no room for comments in the win-loss column. You just put the W in there and move on. And that's probably apt for this game. But we will talk about this one as we welcome you here to Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Auto Insurance, Amy Fadool and Marc Jackson. And listen, it's not always pretty. You find a way to win. You're definitely shorthanded with no Paul George, no Joel Embiid in this one, no Andre Drummond. So you had a lot of role players having to step up. Tyrese Maxey, huge second half. They certainly don't win this game unless he has the second half that he did. You know,
I give this effort, this win to a couple of guys, including him and Yabusele. But you're right, Maxey had a great second half. But this team started struggling in the second half. First half, we was cruising, got a little comfortable and complacent, and they allowed the Wizards to kind of creep back in there. But it was good for Maxey to pick it up when we need him to.
Well, it was the 22nd different starting lineup that we've seen with this team. Eric Gordon was in the starting lineup tonight. First time he's done that since opening day. Guerschon Yabusele, his second straight start, replacing Joel Embiid. And those are things that you need when you're shorthanded. Those guys step up. It was the best game for Gordon in a Sixers uniform.
Absolutely, Amy. He played very well. But you know what? He's been doing the last couple of times. He's been getting opportunities. So he's stepping up when opportunity presents itself. He's saying he's a veteran. He's showing he's a veteran, and he's been around the block a few times and know how to handle adversity. And him being in out the lineup and being out the rotation is adversity to a guy who's been in this league for many years.
Listen, you know, the third quarter was good for the Sixers. They had 29. The fourth quarter was not. It was a wild finish to this one. Sixers did finish up on an 8-0 run, but it wasn't because the Wizards didn't give everything they have. So you can see it's 45 seconds to go, 103 to 103. That usually goes down for him, and now you're thinking, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You said it precisely.
You can't
right there.
lose this game.
Look.
And then
Good
Jared Butler.
Test.
So then you can see Maxey coming up with it 20 seconds ago, and that is what we're used to seeing. Obviously, that burst of speed right there.
That's a prime example of speed kills, but if you're not a user, you're not a maximizer. And then right here.
Yeah.
And look at
Bilal
that.
Koulibaly
Good hustle.
against his fellow Frenchman, Guerschon Yabusele. Yabusele says, not tonight. I don't know how to say that in French. But
what a save by Maxey.
Probably said it himself.
Look at this. No, not in my house.
Yes, that sounds better.
Yes, look at that save. Look at this.
Great save right there, and he's fired up against his fellow countryman right there. And so it's things like that you have. He's like, yeah, how's it going? You have to have plays like that. And this one got too dicey. Too dicey for comfort. It's a 6-win Wizards team. They only have 1 win on the road. I know the Sixers are shorthanded, but you have to have big plays. And obviously, in the end, they did that. But this is not one that they're going to want to look at the tape at.
You know what, Amy?
No.
It's funny. We everybody in that stadium, and us as well, was like, man, it was one. We like,
come on.
Did we really win? Like,
come on.
You know, we got to do better. We got to do better. And here's one, I wouldn't throw away the tape. I think I will watch the second half and see how we let this team come in. We got to see what we did, the mistakes we did, and don't let it happen again. We got to be consistent, guys. 48 minutes. 48
minutes. And that's the thing. And we talked about it when we came on briefly in the fourth quarter. You cannot let your foot off the gas pedal. And, you know, I joke or whatever that the Wizards are obviously shorthanded. It doesn't matter. As you pointed out, they're still wearing an NBA uniform.
Absolutely. You can't take no one for granted. Nobody was just given the opportunity. Everybody in this NBA has earned the right to be here. Now, there's all different kind of caliber players in here, but they are NBA players. They are professionals. They are the best in the world. And with that being said, you can't take it for granted. And sometimes we let young teams, we kind of take it for granted. Oh, they're young, they're not ready. But they got the most shot. They come in there swinging.
Yeah, Guerschon Yabusele with 21 points and 2 blocks. None bigger than that one that basically sealed this win for the Sixers. Here he is with Taryn Hatcher.
All right, Guerschon, so 5 threes tonight. That being said, and a monster dunk at the end of the game, still maybe your most impactful play, that block with 14 seconds left. I mean, what did it mean for you guys to be able to shut this one down, even though they really tried to make it interesting?
For sure. It was really, let's say, like a tough game. It was really important for us to get the win.
Yahoo! 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 Ah! Do it.
But now we needed this one for sure. You know, we played together, we fight to the end. Even when they came back, we managed to stay focused and finish the game. That was really important for us. We had a lot of energy, and it was important to get this game after the last game against the Suns.
So you had 8 attempted threes last game. You went 5 for 7 from 3 this game. Does it feel like you're really getting settled into more volume from beyond the arc right now?
For sure, and I feel like the more shot I'm going to take, the more chance I will have to make some more. So I'm just trying to shoot with a lot of confidence. The guy giving me great confidence to be able to shot the threes. They find me when I'm hoping. So, you know, I'm just trying to make the shot and make everybody feel good.
And finally, quickly, because I have to ask, since he came over and celebrated you, what was going through your mind when Tyrese hits that three? You guys go ahead after they really came in, I mean, full steam ahead in that fourth quarter, the Wizards did.
That felt great for the team. I mean, when he makes play like this, this is really important for us. We get the team going, everybody's with it, and that makes us fight more and finish the game strong.
All right, well, Yabu, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, thank you.
Merci, I believe, is what he's trying to say, but that's okay. We'll translate it for him there. Listen, they had a great finish to this one, and they needed it. They got some good defense, and then obviously Tyrese Maxey supplying a bit of offense there. But it was dicey in the fourth quarter. At one point, they only had 15 points in the fourth quarter, and the reason the Wizards were able to come back, not just because they got good possessions, but it's because the Sixers failed to score on their possessions. That is the subject of our Yingling Presents Lager Up, and it's just bad possessions. You can't come away. These aren't even like... You just wonder what was happening here.
Exactly.
Good play.
So look at this. Like sometimes I really believe that you're second late. And when you're second late or making decisions, things don't just go your way. And right here, like that was the opportunity, recognizing the short shot clock and trying to get through. But one thing, they made an adjustment of doubling Maxey and it threw the Sixers off a little bit.
So when you double Maxey, was it everybody else's failure to realize that? I mean, it didn't seem that there was not as much ball movement in the second half as there was in the first.
Agree. Watch this right here. They get him. Better spacing. They started to get there. Now, they're in the right position here. You just got to make it go. Like, Yabusele is catching the ball to pass. You always got to be aggressive to help your team out.
Yeah, it's a point.
Like right here, look at this. Look, I don't know if
you got to shoot.
Like, you got to shoot that.
Shoot. And then now you're shooting, and it's not, that's a tough shot.
And here's the thing. We want scores to score, right? And guys get an opportunity. They didn't call that double dribble or carry
that was unbelievable. Nick Nurse lost it. Yeah. Even Kyle Kuzma knew he did the travel signal. He knew he traveled.
It was bad. But the referees missed quite a few calls in this game. But this game didn't come down to quite a few calls. It came down to the Sixers' kind of lack of offensive efficiency to me. And Wizards made perfect opportunity of that.
Whew, I mean, it's just they had us fair for a minute. Of course, they didn't, and so it's fine. But goodness gracious, like that was nerve-wracking. But you mentioned it. You don't want to leave it in the ref's hands, and it should not even have gotten to that point. Clearly a travel and a carry by Kyle Kuzma there, and I love that he still did the travel thing and they didn't call it. When you go for it, and you said you would look at the tape in this one, what would you look at specifically?
Our offensive possessions. I will put confidence back in guys. Like, listen, when you get a scoring opportunity right there, that play with the shot clock going down, Yabusele has the ball with 4.5 seconds. There's plenty of time to go try to get a bucket. He's trying to make a move to pass. It's one-on-one. You're a professional player. You dunked on King LeBron himself in the Olympics. Got the whole world talking about it. Go there and try to score. You make a mistake, at least you make a mistake being aggressive. And then on the next play, Caleb Martin he makes a good drive. He gets a middle lane. All he has to do is elevate, shoot the ball. He's up faking, pivoting, up faking, then shoots the elevated late shot. He's once again forgot, by the way, I can score the ball a little bit.
Right.
So sometimes players, when they're not in the flow, they kind of forget that they also can score the ball. That's why it's important to have ball movement constantly, so when your opportunity presents itself, you obviously step up.
Yeah, because you mentioned it. It's not like these guys were deferring to any of the bigger stars. They weren't out there. Tyrese Maxey was out there, but there was no Paul George. There was no Joel Embiid. So you wonder where their aggressiveness took a bit of a backseat. Is it because that they were playing the Wizards, you think, or was it just...
They got tight, Amy.
Yeah,
sometimes you just get tight as a player when the other guys are not out. You got to step up. You're not used to stepping up, getting that many opportunities. But you get an opportunity. Sometimes guys forget who they are and how they got here, and they become robots. Not saying our guys are robots, but sometimes there's some plays you said, no, I should make a play for him. No. Play ball. Go out there and have fun. Like, a lot of times coaches, unfortunately, has to say, just go out and play, man. Go on, you get a bucket in the bucket. You miss it. But at least be aggressive.
Back with our tweeted electrifying moment of the game. And it comes courtesy of Gershon Yabusele. Listen, when things aren't going your way, it's a tight game. Gershon Yabusele coming up. Not only did they have 21 points, but that block right there. Great block, also great save by Tyrese Maxey, as you pointed out in this one. Two guys come into play, especially late in this one. The last minute was frenetic. But this is a Bilal Coulibaly, the first-round pick, 7th overall, fellow Frenchman. And he said, how do you say "not today" in French?
I can't remember, but I know he made sure he said it to him.
We'll say that.
He said it. He said, no croissants in here today.
Yeah, exactly. Get that out of here. There's nothing you can get. So that is the play that you had to have because it looked like they were going to go right to the rack and that would have tied the game. And then obviously things go to change. But Nick Nurse is coming up right now, and I know he's going to be asked a lot about that last play and his team's overall effort in the late games.
I mean, we just again had a good about 44 minutes going there, and then they got free on a they kept kind of running the same action in the middle of the floor there, and we had trouble making the correct schemes and switches on that, and then they took the ball to Tyrese's hands, and we made the right read every time. Only got one basket to show. I mean, we got one dunk from Kelly, and the other ones were some decent shots, and that's just, you're going to get the kick out. You got one kick out to Kelly, got one kick out to Eric, got another three ball in there. We just didn't make them, so we go on a pretty, the game flips pretty quick there when we go on a dry spell. But had the dry spell right leading into the 2.5 minute mark, and then we got it going and kind of, I think it was, 13-5 run to end it or something like that. So good enough down the stretch. Tough game. Oh,
I'm sorry. What did you think of Tyrese's overall night?
Well, obviously he didn't have it going early, right? He was getting tons of looks and things like that, and just couldn't knock him down. But obviously he again did one of his second half, really really great, and then made some huge plays down the stretch. Yeah.
It feels like every shot Tyrese is getting right now is like very difficult, mostly because they're blitzing a lot. It feels like.
Okay.
Yes. Like, how do you manufacture easier looks for him when there's so much like ball pressure on him?
Yeah, I think both of us better relook at the tape, as I saw a lot of wide open threes that he had, like wide open, right? And he had some pretty clean drives to the basket too. Some of the stuff where he's turning around in the lane and getting stopped and having to shoot the fadeaway, those are tough shots for sure. It is tough when they take the ball out of his hands, right? We finally, we kind of played the blitz package pretty good, but didn't score out of it, so we had to change the screening person, and then again we freed him up a little bit, turning the corner on. We started setting with a couple smalls up there at top. You probably saw that, and that kind of opened up the game for us. Yeah.
Gershon continues to kind of come up with big plays and big moments.
Yep.
Just what led to his success tonight? What did you see out there?
Yeah, he just plays hard, man. Plays hard, and he's kind of in the right place at the right time, and he's probably plays much bigger than he is, right? He scores at the rim over bigger people. He blocks shots like more of a bigger center, and he obviously had a huge block. Again, more just making the read on that than anything. So I don't know. Good. Gave us a couple pick and pop plays we kept kind of going to for a while there. So he got a bunch of good looks, but again, just plays solid and plays bigger than he is and makes good plays. He's a smart player.
With Yabu, I guess the threat of his shot, how helpful is that sort of floor spacing for Tyrese, particularly in lineups when Tyrese is the primary ball handler and Yabu is at the 5?
Yeah, two things. It certainly helps, especially against rim protecting centers that are going to be in drop and waiting at the rim, right? Kind of like Valanciunas would be tonight, but you see, good chunk of those kind of guys come through, so that's always helpful. The second thing is he's a good safe pair of hands out of the blitz stuff too, because he ends up, when they blitz with the 5, he ends up with the ball there a lot, having to make the 4-on-3 next pass read, and he does a pretty good job of reading that as well. So it's big on both accounts. Yeah.
You look at Kelly and Caleb and just what they're able to do just on both ends of the floor.
Yep.
I guess what kind of duo does that really give you, on a nightly basis?
Listen, I think that when we have those two guys and Paul in there, I was getting pretty excited about our wing defense with the 3 of them. Puts a little bit more onus on those guys. I think with just 2, because there's usually at least two scorers at either the guard or the wing on the floor, that takes them, and then it gives you a little less switching, right? Probably like, 1/3 less or whatever you can do, right? So, again, I think they both can take it off the bounce. I think we got some work to do a little bit on when they do take it off the bounce of getting it out to open guys. I think they're taking it into some heavy traffic sometimes, and I think I would like us to be able to slam on the brakes and get those out. Kind of like Ricky Council made 2 plays in a row where he drove and kicked it out for a wide open 3. Like, that's part of what our offense is supposed to look like. And when you got 2 and 3 guys on you, especially, I've said this a lot, you're going to have to play through hits down there. And that's hard to score when you're playing through hits, especially from a couple guys at once, you know. And those just have to go out a little more than they are. Yeah. Okay, everybody, thanks.
Right, so talking about the contributions up and down and a little bit on the defense as well and how they had to turn that into offense. And they didn't do that for periods in the fourth quarter, and that's what got them in trouble. But in the end, that's what did get them the win. You saw the big block from Gershon Yabusele.
Yeah, sometimes the games just need to slow down a little bit, and then the runs back and forth. Sometimes you can get kind of mindful and you forget of certain things, but it comes back to you eventually. Coach Nick Nurse said it. He said sometimes once we make that catch, we may read, we got to be able to. But then as the game progressed, we did just that, and it led to a win.